back, everybody. Okay, let me ask members of the audience, how many of you are mothers? All right, raise your hand. How many of you felt just a little off after you had your children? Something just wasn't right. Body didn't snap back into place, got a little tired, maybe a little depressed. Yeah, be proud, it's okay, right? So a lot of you. Well, before the break, we showed you Stephanie Pye. Stephanie said the months after having her baby, she just didn't feel normal. After a visit with our next guest, she got her life back and feels better than ever. Please welcome from the Hotze Health and Wellness Center, Dr. Stephen Hotze and his patient, Stephanie Pye. Hi. We're always told that after having a baby, things just are a little different and to accept it and move on. But things were like a lot different for you.
They were significantly different. And most of my symptoms I thought were consistent with being a new mom. Anxiety, lack of sleep, brain fog. You know, I was talking to my friends and they kept saying, oh, you're a new mom and you'll get through it. But then I had some physical symptoms that I kept going back to my doctor and she kept saying, well, you're just depressed. And she'd write me a prescription for an antidepressant. And I'm like, I don't know what's wrong with me, but
yeah,
that's
like, well,
not
why
it.
am I depressed? Because it's like, you know, I'm happy, I have my baby, life is good, but I don't know why I'm depressed.
Exactly. And so I started doing some research on hypothyroidism and my symptoms were very consistent with that. And so I made an appointment with the Hotze Clinic, and once I got started on some thyroid and some progesterone,
replacing what your body lost.
Exactly.
Yeah. And Dr. Hotze, this is so common. It's like what we used to call the baby blues, if you will. It's so common, but yet so few people really know about it. Why?
It is incredible to me that the average physician has no idea that the problem isn't related to low levels of antidepressants. Nobody feels badly because they don't have antidepressants in their body. It's because your hormone levels go down, your thyroid levels go down, and your hormones are out of balance. And it's very simple to replenish those and balance those out, which we have done with over 20,000 guests at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center. And I don't know why the doctors aren't standing in line saying, how do you get these women well?
But replacing what went wrong.
Yeah, and it's real simple, but the pharmaceutical companies have such a tremendous impact upon the medical profession that the doctors become indoctrinated with the drug reps, their treatments, which are just drugs.
Well, here's the symptom, here's a medication for it. Here's a symptom, here's a medication for it.
And we know this, that antidepressants have very serious and deleterious side effects. I can't tell you the number of women that come into our center who say, I started on these drugs and all of a sudden I thought about killing myself. Well, guess what's on the black box? On the side of the
warning?
A warning that says it may increase suicidal ideation. Why would I give somebody something that would make them consider killing themselves? That's crazy. Why don't we just replenish what God put in our bodies to begin with naturally, put natural hormones back in the body and balance them out? So that's what we did with Stephanie.
Yeah, and you feel like what now?
I feel like $1 million. I mean, I'm engaged with my
and you feel like you're in high school again.
I do. I feel like I did when I was in high school.
What we're doing this year at the Hotze Health and Wellness Center is we're leading a wellness revolution that's going to change the way men and women are treated in midlife through the use of biologically identical hormones, so women and men aren't buffaloed into thinking it's all in their head.
Or buffaloed into thinking that you got to take five prescriptions to
drugs to get well. So we're going to just say enough's enough. Okay, we're going to change things and we're going to get healthy and well naturally. Now this is in Houston, which is the third largest metropolitan area in the world. So we're committed to helping women and men across the city get their lives back and get on the path of health and wellness.
And you said something really important. I started doing some research. I think a lot of us, we just kind of believe what we're told, but we have to be our own advocates too for our own health. And so you were able to see, okay, here are my symptoms, because there's so much out there for us to look at now. Maybe it could be this. What was it that made you not trust what you were being told or not trust the treatment that you were being given?
Well, I had a lot of physical symptoms that aligned with, you know, thinning hair, brittle nails, you know, all of my symptoms were very extreme fatigue. Wake up in the morning just as, if not more tired than I was the night before. And I knew that was all consistent with the thyroid. And yet my doctor kept saying, everything's normal, and kind of the catch-all for it is if we don't know that there's something physically wrong, then you need to take antidepressants.
Right.
And I didn't feel like that was a thorough enough answer for me. And so, and that's when I reached out to the Hotze Clinic because they're, you know, world-renowned experts on this.
Yeah.
And
well,
Dr. Hotze,
I was going to say, the thing about Stephanie is that she took charge of her health. And that's what's really important, is to take charge of your health. If you're going to get your life back, you can't.
That's what I had to do, because I wasn't getting better.
Nobody's going to take a bigger interest in your health than you. and you better take an interest in it. And so she's to be commended and get the highest accolades for taking charge of her health and getting her life
And when we
back.
say hormones, yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thyroid, of course, which is one of them. There's estrogen, progesterone, testosterone. There's a whole group of hormones that really rule just about every aspect of our lives. And so at the center, you can come in, get the blood work done, not be told you're within a range.
Right.
You listen to the symptoms to figure out where somebody is.
Exactly.
And so it's kind of like
this program backward
I do
and
because
forward.
I've been through it, right? So it's like customized medicine because you find out what your body is lacking, replenish that, and it puts you back on that level playing field. Dr. Hotze is hosting a complimentary wellness summit they talked about. It's happening Saturday morning, January 21st at Hotel Sorella, located at City Center. To RSVP to that event and to reach the Hotze Health and Wellness Center to make an appointment, call 281-698-8698, 281-698-8698. or log on to hotzehwc.com. Now, we mentioned that imbalance of hormones because she had a baby, but it also happens just because we get older. Kind of like diminishing of hormones is just what happens to us as we get older. You can also catch Dr. Hotze on his radio program, Health and Wellness Solutions, weekdays from noon to 1 p.m. on 700 a.m. Now, he's also the author of the book, Hormones, Health, and Happiness. It's available on Amazon, and some members of our studio audience are going home with a copy. It has all the information in there you need to know about bioidentical hormones versus other things and what can happen to the body when those hormones are imbalanced. Thank you very much, and welcome back to high school. When we come back, we'll take you on a behind-the-scenes tour of